Hey y'all, it's your Aaron, and today I'm going to be playing some MTG Arena again. I have passed the tutorial. If you want to see me doing the tutorial, feel free to watch the last video, but today I'm doing the color challenges. Well, this video will probably just be white, and I have to win 5 games, and each time I will gain some white. And there is a Angelic Army deck that they've given you like a deck in each color. So if you're playing MTG Arena for the first time, this is something you have to go through before you can actually build your own decks. And I'm starting on a new account, and this account is going to be free to play. So I wanted to do a series where I played, so I'm playing a Plains and a Charmed Stray. I have 2 of those. No, I have. Wait. I have 2 cats, but I'll play the Charm Stray. So yeah, this is going to be a series where I'm playing with a free-to-play account. I'm not going to be spending any money on it. And I'm going to see how far I can get with ranks and all that. So I could play the Sanctuary Cat for 1 mana, or I could enchant my Charm Stray for 2. If I play the Sanctuary Cat, then I will have 1 mana left with nothing to do. So I think it's better to play the Knight's Pledge. This also allows me to attack this turn without worrying about my creature getting blocked and dying. Now if it gets blocked, it won't die. And their creature will. If you want to know how the damage and all that works, it's explained in the tutorial that I did in the last video. But basically, the first number is your attack or your power, and the second number is your defense or your toughness. And if you block a creature, they will hit each other basically and do their powers damage to each other. And if their toughness gets to 0, they die. So now I have 3 mana, and I have a card for 1 and a card for 2, so I could play both. Now I can either play the Knight's Pledge on the Charmed Stray again, making it giant, or I can play it on the Sanctuary Cat. If I play it on the Sanctuary Cat, then that extra 2 power isn't going to be hitting into the opponent this turn, because creatures normally can't attack the turn you play them. So let's play the Sanctuary Cat. Interesting noise. Floofy. But the benefit of distributing the enchantments are, if this creature does die, then the enchantment attached to it will also get lost. So if I have the enchantments all on one creature and that creature dies, then all the enchantments. This way, if one of my creatures dies, the other still has the enchantment and we're getting back. Now, as a 3/3, 3 1/1s could all triple block and kill my creature, but one of them is tapped, so it can't block. So there's no way they can kill me with just blocking. And I don't have any mana open to do any other stuff. It was a pretty safe attack to do. And the creatures have flying, which means that you can see how the cards are like floating a bit, but that's basically saying that they can go over the top of creatures that don't have flying, and so I can't block them. They will just be able to attack. They do tap, but they can't block on their turn. Play a land, you can only play 1 land a turn, normally. Okay, so when Charmed Stray enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on each other creature you control named Charmed Stray. I only have 1 other, but that's pretty cool. Because now it will get a +1/+1 counter. And the Charmed Stray is a creature with lifelink, so I gain life for all the damage it deals. So the more damage it deals, the more life I get. I'm going to attack with both because, again, they can't block it. There's no point keeping my creatures back to block when their creatures have flying, so I won't be able to block them. Unblock. And I still got tons of life. Another Sanctuary Cat. Let's attack. see what they do. Game over. Didn't even have to play my other card. They had all their mana up, so I was wondering if they were going to play something, but I think, you know, it's quite easy at the beginning. They make it easy for you. And then the challenges like get harder and harder as you complete them. So we're going on to the second white color. So yeah, feel free to subscribe if you want to get more of my MTG Arena videos and the color challenges, and then playing against real people after that. Once I finish the color changes, I will create a deck and I will be playing deck, trying to do the daily quests so that I can get gold coins and XP. When you get XP, you level up, which you can get cards or more coins or whatever from. And I unlocked cards. Going to game 2, and so the last game we played against someone who had blue, and I think we're playing against someone with black. There's Liliana Vess, who is like the what do you call it? The face of black, I guess, in Magic, whereas Jace would be the face of blue. I didn't have anything to play on turn 1. In turn 2, I can either play a Youthful Knight or a Shrine Keeper. Now the Shrine Keeper has enough enough toughness to survive a hit of 1, unless that creature has Death Touch. It means any amount of damage from a source with Death Touch is enough to destroy me. But I'm going to play the Youthful Knight because First Strike allows my creature to deal damage before the other creature deals damage. And so the 1 damage they would have dealt me, that would have had Death Touch, can't actually be dealt to me because the 2 damage I would deal to it first would kill it before it gets a turn to return attack. That's pretty cool. So now, I mean, it's pretty safe for me to attack right now. I'll still be able to kill, but it is attractive to put that on. But I think I'm actually going to just play another Shrine Keeper. Adding 2 to a First Strike is cool, but what I'm just worried about is them killing that creature, and then there goes the enchantment with it. Now I probably don't want to block because I don't want my creature. Sometimes you do block though, even though your creature dies. If you know your creature's going to die but you block anyway, usually it's to protect your life total or some other effect that the creature might do when it comes into. Okay, so now what we could do, we could play the pacifism. The Bloodthirsty Aerialist will get a +1/+1 encounter every time my opponent gains life. Both of their creatures have Death Touch and Lifelink. Lifelink means they gain life when they do damage. So if they attacked with those 2 creatures, they would each deal 1. There would be 2 creatures with Lifelink, so they would be gaining life twice. They would put 2 counters on the Bloodthirsty Aerialist, and it would go from a 2/3 to a 4/5, which makes it quite big and difficult to kill. So playing pacifism means that it can't attack or block, and so it doesn't really matter if it gets a ton of tokens, it can't attack me with or block with them. So that seems like a good thing to do. And then I think I'm going to put this on the one with First Strike, just because they didn't block last turn, so they might just let it through again. I want to get as much damage through as I can, and I'm not going to attack with a Shrine Keeper, because they will be able to block with a creature that is only 1 mana, which would kill a creature that is 2 mana. So in terms of efficiency, it's better for them to make that trade, all other things being equal. They have another Bloodthirsty Aerialist. That's unfortunate. So now if they attack, Okay, they're not attacking. And I have another pacifism. So if I was playing their deck, I probably would have attacked that turn, because if I block, like with my Shrine Keeper, it dies. And then they would get a token. I'm only going to attack with the Youthful Knight, because First Strike means it can kill the Death Touches, so there's no risk of dying. And I've been able to attack my opponent a few times now. They're not blocking. Maybe when their life total gets closer to 0, they might start blocking their 1-1. Okay, Soren's Thirst deals 2 damage. So if I hadn't put the +2/+2, I would have only had 1 toughness. That 2 damage would have been able to kill my knight. I now have another Youthful Knight. You can die from his range damage. Doesn't have a knight. But for now, it can't attack. You can see there's like waves coming off of it, like that's showing you that it has summoning signal, e.g. it can't attack. So, do I buff this to a 7/6 or this to a 5/4? I think I'm going to put this one up to a 5/4. And so now I have enough damage to get my opponent's life total to 0 if they don't block. You call that threatening lethal. Lethal damage, enough damage to kill the opponent. So the only creature they can block is the one without flying. My Youthful Knight will kill their creature though, or both of them if they block with both, before getting dealt damage by them from first strike. I'm not afraid to attack with it, and if they don't block it, I just win. I'm guessing they will block it though. Yeah. So they don't even get to gain their 1 life because I killed it on that first round of damage before it got a chance to deal any damage back. Now this card has made their vampires bigger, and that let them gain 2 life. But I have enough to end their life this turn. And so I'll play the Serra's Guardian. Very expensive card. And this gives my other creatures vigilance, which means that they can attack without tapping. But they can't, even if they blocked with both, which they can't because they're untapped, I would just have killed one of them and let my creature die. With the other 2 flying, I would have had enough to next turn. Yeah, that is the second challenge. I'm someone who enjoys the process of deck building. I like to be creative and tweak my decks around a bit, get them to something that I like. So playing these like sort of preset decks at the beginning is a little bit boring for me, but the challenges are useful. Learn, I guess. And we have a Johnny's Pridemate, very good card. Anytime you gain life, like the Bloodthirsty Aerialist, the Johnny's Pridemate gets a +1 token. It doesn't have flying like the Aerialist. And in my other accounts, I actually play a deck that uses the Vampire of the Moon that we saw, the 1/1 with Death Touch and Lifelink, as well as Bloodthirsty Aerialist, as well as the Johnny's Pridemate. Play all of those cards because they just go well together. We are playing against Chandra Nalar. I think that's how you pronounce it, which is pretty much the figurehead for red. I didn't have anything to play on my first turn. On this turn I do though. Now I could play either the Ajani's Pridemate or the Impassioned Orator, but there's a benefit to playing the Impassioned Orator first, so I'll do that first. So, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. So that only comes into effect once it's on the board. And so that means when I play any creature now, I'll gain a life. And so if I played the Ajani first, the Ajani wouldn't count as one of those creatures, because it would already be on the board. Playing this first means when I play my Ajani, it counts as one of those creatures, gain life immediately, and it gains a token immediately. And now, because I have a 1-drop as well, play that. And so I played the Ajani before that because that's also going to gain me life. And now I have a big fat Ajani. So now my opponent could double block, which would kill my Impassioned Orator. And because this is what is the only thing giving me life, well actually the Charm Stray also gives me life. But either way, because it is a nice trigger for life, I'm going to keep it. Because next turn I have a creature to play, which is another life. So you can think of the amount of life I gain over the game. It's going to be more than 2 for the amount of damage it could do if they don't block. And if they do block, then I don't do damage and I don't have that ability anymore. Although then they block, they can't attack me. And because they're playing red, they might want to be attacking. So it might actually be a good idea to attack, because their creatures do an extra 1 damage only when they attack. So even though I am going to be losing out on that benefit, they now are not going to have the ability to do damage to me with those creatures. So those creatures, if they attacked, even if I blocked, would have done 1 damage. But because I have another source of lifelink, I'll just let that be. So now this Angel of Vitality has flying, which is useful to block that. It also says if I gain life, I gain that much +1 instead. And if I have 25 or more life, Angel of Vitality gets +2/+2. And so if I can gain my 3 life, I can do that. I would have gained the 3 life if I still had the other card in play, but I wanted to be a bit more aggressive and take out the creatures attacking. So now my Charm Stray got a token because this adds a token to any other creature you control called Charm Stray when you play it. So now my Charm Stray is a 2/2, which means if they block with the Chandra's Spitfire, it can survive. Now the Chandra's Spitfire could gain 3 power, which would be enough to kill either of my cards, but that requires them to deal non-combat damage to me, which would require them to have enough mana to cast a spell that could do that. So I know for a fact they aren't going to be able to get the power up, which means, in theory at least, there's no way they can kill my creatures just through combat. And because the Charm Stray has lifelink, I gain 2 life, which put a token on the Ajani. And now I have enough life gain so that the Angel of Vitality gets +2/+2, and so they didn't even attack because Angel of Vitality was big enough for that attack to not have been successful. If my Impassioned Orator was still in play, I'm sure my Ajani would be a bunch bigger. But either way. Now they could kill this Charm Stray if they block it. And they could also give their creatures +3 if they have a block and deal damage to me to the face, but instead they were just double blocking to kill a 2/2. But I gain life anyway, so now I've got pretty big Ajani. Even if they had blocked this Stray and it died, it would have still contributed to growing my Ajani. Let's see what they do. If I were them, now would be the time to deal damage to my face to make them bigger. Although they really need to block now. They would have needed to be able to kill my Ajani's for attacking to really make sense. So it dealt damage to me, killed 1 Ajani. But because it dealt damage to me, they get +3, so they're able to deal 4 each. And I'm back at starting health. Yay, lifeline. And I'm just going to attack with everything. So I don't have the +2/+2 anymore. They kind of have to block my big guy. And my Charm Stray gained life, so my Johnny got even bigger. Okay. Volcanic Dragon has haste. It can attack straight away. But I'm on so much life, it's really not a concern. And to be honest, they should be staying back to block. Like by attacking, they allowed me to attack without blockers and so on. They should have stayed back to block. They could have put one of those in front of there, put one there, killed it, and killed that. And then I would have only had the Ajani, and they would have still had one of those and one of those. And I wouldn't have been able to block them. Although the Ajani then next turn, they would have had to be able to get rid of it somehow, because next turn they'd have to block, it would kill one, and they'd just end up with less and less creatures blocking over and over against something that is killing them. But yeah. So their decks are getting more and more interesting, you could say. Odds are not as simple anymore. And we got a Fencing Ace, another Inspiring Commander, and some Spiritual Guardians and Youth. Okay. So now we are playing against, I think it is Nissa, who is probably the figurehead for green. Is it Johnny the figurehead for white then? Because I would have thought maybe it would have been Elspeth, but I guess they've given me the Johnny. Maybe it is a Johnny. The Johnny's cool though. That's awesome. I mean, Elspeth's cool, but the Johnny's the figurehead, so be it. Didn't have anything to play turn 1 again, but I now can play Fencing Ace. Fencing Ace is a 1-1, but it has double strike. So similar to the Youthful Knights, who can attack before the other creatures do damage, double strike lets you do that, but then you attack again at the normal time as well, not just the first. So I'll play a land, and I can play Angel of Vitality, or give a creature +2/+2 and lifelink, or play another Fencing Ace. Playing against green, I think I'm just going to attack. And I'll attack twice, you'll see, because it's the first strike damage, oop, and then the normal damage off. And that's double strike, which is really powerful. But I'm thinking of playing my other Fencing Ace. I'll wait until this +2/+2 effect can be more consequential. Hello. Are you my Sanctuary Cat or my Charm Strays? Oh no, they played a Runic Armasaur. So they draw a card if I activate the ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability. None of my cards have those kinds of abilities. So now I could attack, and if they block, they'll be able to kill my Fencing Ace, but because I have two moments of heroism, I could play them both, which would bring whichever creature they blocked up to 5/5. Would be enough to kill their dinosaur. And because I have double strike, it would kill the dinosaur in the first phase and then do the next 5 to the opponent's life total. If I didn't have enough to kill the dinosaur in the first phase, it would do the second phase damage to the creature again. Try and kill it that way. But let's see, maybe they don't even block. Now I'm going to wait until I see who they block before I play those cards, because if you play it before you attack, they'll just block the one that doesn't have enough to kill their dude. So they chose to block that one, and so now I can give my Fencing Ace +2/+2 and lifelink, and then I will give it 2/2 and lifelink again. It doesn't gain double the lifelinks don't stack, but that's enough to kill. And then the second phase, one of my cats at the door is shame. Okay, I'm going to play an Angel of Vitality. And now I don't have enough to kill their next Armasaur, so I'm not going to attack. Also don't have those moments of heroism to make it big enough. Okay, I have another moment of heroism, and so they could block with the crocodile, and +2 onto that will be enough to kill it. They could also block with this, and I won't be able to get up to 5 to kill that, but being able to kill the crocodile only is kind of fine as well. So I'm going to attack, see who they block, and then I will potentially buff whichever one crocodile is blocked. Give that one +2/+2, and so it's enough to kill it. And because it's first strike damage, it happens before the dinosaur is able to hit me back. Now my other fencing ace didn't have enough to kill the dinosaur in the first attack, so the dinosaur did damage in the second phase and killed it. But that's okay. I was able to kill their crocodile in the process of that attack. And now I can play an Angel of Vitality, so I have a blocker. And the Angel of Vitality can block the runic Armasaur without dying, because it's 4 toughness, thanks to having 25 or more life. And so I'm not going to attack with Fencing Ace, because even though it can kill the unicorn via first strike damage and then normal damage, it will die on that normal damage phase because it didn't kill it in the first strike phase. And I don't want to kill it because I might draw another moment of heroism, which keep it alive. So my opponent is in a pickle now because I am able to kill them next turn if they can't get rid of these angels. Even if they get me below 25 and these drop down to being 2/2s each, they can still do 2 damage each. So that's still enough to kill them. Well, they're attacking with both. I'm not going to block because even if they do 10 damage, it's fine. All creatures able to block Prior's Unicorn do so. Okay. Well, I don't have a choice then. I have to block. So my Fencing Ace will die from that. They don't have Trample, so blocks all the damage that creature would have done. And now, if they weren't so close to dying, I might not attack. Because if I keep taking 10 each time, you know, it's going to get me down to 0 quick. But because I have enough to end them off, I will just attack and do. Ta-da! And there you have it. Okay, so that's green. So that's cool. We actually got some coins and some XP from completing that challenge. And we got the Dawn of Hope card, which I really like. And so let's upgrade. Oh, it is a mystery. My sanctuary cat went with me when I was out, and I've come back with a different cat. Oh, don't knock the... It's knocking the mic. My other cat wants to get in, but if too many of them are in the room with me at the same time, then they just get up to mischief. I have 7 in total, if you're wondering. You can be the Charmed Stray, not the Sanctuary cat. There you go, Charmed Stray. It's you, Piglet. Don't knock the mic. Okay, normally I wouldn't keep a hand like this because I only have 2 land. All those cards cost 5 or more mana, so I won't have anything to play for a while if I don't draw more land. But because we're still in the color challenge portion of the game, I think it's going to be forgiving on that front and let me draw the lands I need. Playing against like real people, you often end up not drawing the lands you need, and it can cause you to lose the game. One of the reasons why having a deck that doesn't have expensive mana cost cards in it is actually more consistent sometimes. My cats are so precious. And I have this cat has lifelink, so that means when it deals damage, okay, let's play a land. I didn't draw a land that time. Is it calling my bluff? But cats vs dogs, as I see. Let's pacify that pack mastiff. Oh wait, I'm playing against... Is this against the real person? Maybe. Maybe that's someone playing like the last one of the red challenge versus me playing the last one of the white. So then I probably shouldn't have been so confident about having the lands I need. Because if it was the AI, I'd be like, are you calling my bluff? But if it's human, it's like, okay, I just made a mistake. Well, it is illustrative. So this is what happens when you don't have enough land. And if you do lose any of these challenges, don't feel bad about it. I've just been playing for a while, that's why I've so far been able to handle them all. It is possible to lose these. They can't attack. And I draw land. Things are looking up. And one more land, or I can play some more cards. That's all I can do. So they can attack for 2 with that, or they can give it +1/+0 using 1 of any color and 1 red. Obviously, so they could get up to 4 and attack for 4. If it wasn't pacified, this pack mastiff would also gain that benefit because it says each creature control named pack. Piglet, your tail keeps knocking my microphone. You're quite charming. People need to hear what I'm saying, you know? And you're now trying to hit it with your hand. Yay, land! So I did get lucky, you often don't. And I could just have lost the game just because I didn't have enough land in my opening hand. So this will tap all their creatures. Doesn't help me. That is entrancing a creature, doesn't help me. Okay, so I actually can't do anything. Oh gosh. Well, I can play the confront the assault when they attack. That'll get me started. And then I can put an enchantment on the tokens that are created, so they won't have to stay as 1/1. Now the question is, do I let them hit me for 3, or do I double block with 1/1? What I'm thinking is let them hit me because I do need to play it when they're attacking. I can play it now. Can't wait until they finished attacking because then it won't be able to be. From the name of the card, I think it wants you to block, but I'm just gonna let it through because total toughness of creatures I control. So having more creatures does help me. And so if I give like one of them +3/+3, then, you know, they will need to pump it up to 4 to be able to take it down. Burn a shock. Okay, so let's see. They should have waited until I did. Well, they might have another shock to be honest, but normally you would wait until I've targeted my creature and then shock it before the enchantment actually lands, so that the enchantment isn't in effect yet, and then you can kill it and I would lose the enchantment since that it already cost it. So I'm not actually going to leave it back to block, because they could just give it +1/+0 twice and kill my creature. I lose the enchantment and obviously I lose the creatures. So I don't need to leave them back to block. And I'm still on 16, so it should be safe to not have any blockers. I'd rather be putting some damage. Like if I was going to block, I would want to have this available, you know, so if they pumped it up, I could pump it up even more. They seem to have some mana issues on that side of the board though. I mean, I could do with one more land, but I got a land. Is it listening to my mic? Let's see. So when Loxodon life chance enters the battlefield, you can have your life total become the total toughness of creatures you control, which would be 4, so that would be bad. So I think the best thing, let me play my Inspiring Commander so that in the future, if I get more creatures, I can gain life from that, draw cards, and then as well I can use the Moment of Heroism on the Inspiring Commander, and that'll be enough to kill as well, because this doesn't improve the Master Toughness, just its they attack now, block with the Inspiring Commander, play Moment of Heroism. That'll bring me up to 3/6, which is enough to survive and to kill. Actually, I can't, hey, because I don't have the mana. You need 2 mana for that. Yeah. I'll leave the mana up, I think. Oh, okay. Opponent is goodbying. Okay, so there we go. That's the white challenges. And so that unlocks a bunch more cards in white. When I've finished doing all the color changes, then I'm going to start building a deck and playing and seeing if I can rank up and stuff. But for now, that's going to be the end of the video. I'm just going to do the color challenges as separate videos. It does take a while to do. So each one can be a different video. And once I've finished all of them, I can look at cards I have and wow, okay, so you do get daily quests and stuff. So a lot of these rewards and stuff are from completing like stuff that's in the daily quest, or it could just be for winning. When you do like brawls or other types of formats, it does count to your daily quest. Not sure if that's the exact reason I'm getting it right now. Wild cards are cool because they let you craft any card of the rarity, common and uncommon. And there we go. And so now we can move on. So I'll be doing blue next. So if you want to subscribe, feel welcome to do that so that you have a chance of seeing that. And yeah, feel free to feedback on any comments you have. And yeah, this will be it for the free-to-play run white color challenge. Thanks for watching. Bye.